Kong, now the undisputed king of Hollow Earth, is on a routine patrol. He moves through a forest of giant bioluminescent fungi, his presence bringing a sense of order to the chaotic ecosystem. At the center of our planet, a world beyond imagination exists, defying all laws of physics. This is Hollow Earth, and it has a king. Kong, the solitary ruler, carries the weight of a primeval world on his shoulders.
A breathtaking, hidden world.
Kong reaches a cliff overlooking a vast valley where various creatures coexist. He observes a flock of warbats soaring through the air and a sker buffalo drinking from an energy river. Every day in this kingdom is a struggle for survival. But under Kong's rule, a fragile balance is maintained. He is not a benevolent king, but a force of nature, ensuring no single species can overwhelm the others. Kong notices an unnatural silence. Smaller creatures suddenly flee, and the entire valley falls eerily quiet. He stands tall, sensing an unknown threat. But balance can be broken. In this world of apex predators, silence is not peace. It is a warning. Something has turned the predators into prey. From an unexplored abyss, a strange, high-pitched screech echoes. The ground trembles slightly. Kong lets out a defiant roar, but there's a note of uncertainty in it. A new sound, a tremor not born of geology. In Hollow Earth, the unknown is often synonymous with death. A new territory is being encroached upon. The first creatures emerge from the abyss. They are fast, reptilian beasts with crystalline armored scales, moving in a pack with alarming intelligence. They are the crystal scourges,
exhibit
not one, but
frightening
many.
pack behavior,
An army,
moving
born in the
in
pressure and
unnervingly
darkness of the
perfect
deepest abysses.
coordination.
These new predators are encased in natural, diamond-hard armor. They hunt as a pack, guided by a collective intelligence. The Crystal Scourge Pack quickly attacks the lone Sker Buffalo. They coordinate their assault, using their speed and razor-sharp tails to bleed the giant prey. The hunt begins. Unlike other Hollow Earth predators that rely on brute strength, these invaders employ tactics. They are wolves in a world of bears. Every cut is precise, every movement calculated. Kong cannot stand by and watch. He leaps down from the cliff, a thunderous roar shattering the air. He is an avalanche, a force of pure rage descending upon the invaders. The king intervenes. This is not mercy. This is an assertion of dominance. Any hunt in his kingdom is by his permission. The first battle erupts. Kong uses brute force, grabbing the scourges and smashing them against each other or the ground. But their armor is tough, and they are nimble, inflicting numerous small but painful cuts on Kong. Strength versus speed. Rage versus tactics. Kong is a volcano, but these foes are 1,000 cuts. For the first time in a long time, the king feels his own blood being drawn. The Scourges, realizing they cannot win, suddenly execute an orderly retreat. They don't flee in panic, but withdraw back into the abyss like a disciplined army. This was not a retreat. It was reconnaissance. They have gathered information. They have tasted the king's blood. And now, they return to report to their master. Kong stands alone on the battlefield, staring into the dark abyss. He roars again, but this time it is not a challenge. It is a declaration of war. He knows this is only the beginning. The old order has been broken. A new power has risen from the darkness. The King of Hollow Earth now faces his greatest battle, not just for his crown, but for the survival of his very kingdom from an invasion from below. Wounded and enraged, Kong retreats to his ancestral fortress. He realizes brute force is not enough. His gaze falls upon the giant battle axe, crafted from the scale of an ancient Godzilla, lying dormant. Pain is a harsh teacher. It taught Kong that this new enemy is different. They are intelligent, tactical. To face an army, the king needs more than his fists. He needs a weapon of gods. Kong carries the axe to one of Hollow Earth's deepest energy rivers. He plunges the blade into the brilliant current, and the weapon begins to absorb the energy, glowing with an intense blue light. The axe is more than bone and scale. It is a capacitor for the planet's primal energy. Kong is not just sharpening his weapon, he is awakening a storm. With the axe now fully charged and pulsing with a steady light, Kong returns to the abyss. Without hesitation, he leaps into the darkness, the axe illuminating his path like a torch. The king is no longer defending. He is attacking. He is taking the war to the enemy's doorstep, descending into a world beneath worlds, where not even nightmares dare to tread.
We need to get out of here.
The deeper he goes, the more alien and hostile the environment becomes. Razor-sharp crystalline structures jut out from the walls, and the air grows thick with a corrosive type of spore. This is another ecosystem, one built on darkness and pressure. Everything here is designed to cut, to pierce, or to dissolve. For a creature of the world above, mere existence here is a battle. A new type of creature ambushes Kong. Smaller and faster than the crystal scourges, these crystal phantoms can temporarily blend into the darkness, appearing only for lightning-fast strikes before vanishing again. The enemy adapts. Having seen Kong's brute strength, they send assassins. These phantoms do not fight to win, they fight to wear the intruder down, to make him bleed on his way to their master. Kong finally reaches the bottom. It opens into a cavern so vast it's a world in itself. The center is dominated by a hive city-like structure made of polished black obsidian. Thousands of crystal scourges stand motionless like statues, an army in waiting. This is not a nest. This is a fortress, an empire built in darkness. Every warrior is a perfect copy, born for a single purpose: conquest. And Kong has just walked into their throne room. From the shadows of the central structure, a colossal figure rises. It is not a crystal scourge. It is larger, more ancient, encased in thick obsidian armor. Its eyes burn with malevolent intelligence. This is the Obsidian Tyrant, the King of the Abyss. Every army has a general. Every empire has an emperor. This creature is no mere beast. It is a conqueror, an ancient intelligence that has slumbered for millennia, now awakened. The Obsidian Tyrant doesn't attack physically. Instead, it unleashes a high-frequency, psionic roar that assaults Kong's mind directly, disorienting him with flashing images of destruction. Kong roars back, fighting it off with sheer willpower. The first battle is not of muscle, but of will. The King of the Abyss attempts to break the intruder's spirit before breaking his body. But Kong's will is as unyielding as his might. The clash of titans begins. Kong's speed and his axe against the tyrant's raw power and near impenetrable defense. The tyrant uses the environment, causing sharp crystal spires to erupt from the ground to trap Kong. This is a battle of kings, of philosophies. The guardian of the sunlit world versus the conqueror of the dark. Every punch shakes the foundations of Hollow Earth. Every swing could shatter a mountain. In a decisive moment, Kong dodges a blow and lands a full power swing with the charged axe, shattering a large plate of obsidian armor on the tyrant's chest. But in the opening, the tyrant's spear-like tail impales Kong through the shoulder, lifting him off the ground. Blood for blood, a wound for a wound. Kong has proven the god of darkness can bleed, but the victory comes at a terrible cost. The king is grievously wounded, impaled on his enemy's weapon, suspended between life and death. Impaled and near death, Kong hangs limply. His axe lies on the ground, its light fading. But as Kong's blood drips onto the axe, the Godzilla fin begins to glow faintly, not blue, but a primal, atomic red. Defeat. A king impaled on the throne of his rival. But the blood of a titan is not easily spilled. And the legacy of another is not easily forgotten. A dormant power, an ancient rivalry, is stirred by the scent of death. The axe's red glow intensifies, pulsing in rhythm with Kong's fading heartbeat. It emits a low hum that vibrates through the cavern, a frequency that resonates with the tyrant's own internal energy, causing it discomfort. It is a call across eons. The energy of an alpha titan, Godzilla, stored within the axe, recognizes its ancient enemy's kin. Not the energy of the earth, but the fire of the planet's true defender, awakened by Kong's sacrifice. With a final surge of will, Kong rips himself free from the tyrant's tail, a horrific wound left behind. He collapses near the axe. He places his bloody hand on the glowing red fin. The atomic energy surges into him, cauterizing his wounds in a painful burst of light and power. Survival at any cost. Kong, a creature of earth and muscle, embraces the atomic fire of his rival. It is a desperate gamble, a fusion of two opposing forces, creating something new. Something terrible. Kong rises. His wounds are seared shut, glowing with red embers. His eyes, once amber, now burn with red atomic fire. Veins of red energy pulse under his skin. He is no longer just Kong, he is a vessel for Godzilla's fury. He lifts the axe, now glowing a malevolent red. The king is reborn in fire. The fusion is complete. The raw strength of Kong, now amplified by the atomic breath of a god. He has become the very thing his ancestors fought against. A walking apocalypse. The previously fearless Crystal Scourge army stirs. For the first time, they show emotion. They shuffle nervously, some even taking a step back. Their hive mind is overwhelmed by this new, terrifying power signature. The Obsidian Tyrant roars, not in triumph, but in anger and perhaps, a hint of fear. Order breaks. The hive mind cracks under the pressure of this new, ancient terror. The atomic fire is a primal fear, burned into the genetic memory of all deep earth creatures. The army's greatest weapon, its discipline, is now its weakness. The rematch begins. Kong is now faster, stronger, and more brutal. He no longer just swings the axe, he unleashes waves of red atomic energy from it. He carves through the tyrant's obsidian armor like it's glass. This is not a battle. It is an execution. The calculated tactics of the tyrant are meaningless against the raw, unpredictable chaos of atomic rage. The hunter has become the hunted in his own lair. The tyrant, battered and broken, tries to flee into the hive structure. Kong cuts off its retreat. In a final, climactic move, Kong leaps onto the tyrant's back, raises the axe high, and plunges it directly into the glowing wound on its chest, channeling all the remaining atomic energy into one devastating blast. A king does not allow his enemies to flee. The final blow is not just to kill, but to utterly annihilate. A message, written in atomic fire, to all who would dare challenge the surface world. With their king destroyed, the psychic link holding the Crystal Scourge army together shatters. They descend into chaos, attacking each other or fleeing mindlessly into the darkness. The Hive city itself, destabilized by the explosion, begins to crumble and collapse. The Empire of Darkness dies with its emperor. Without the central consciousness, the army is nothing but a swarm of panicked insects. The fortress built over eons falls in a matter of moments. Kong, exhausted and reverting to his normal state, retrieves his axe, now inert again. He gives one last look at the ruins of the abyss and begins the long, arduous climb back to his own world. The war is over. The victory is absolute. But the king has changed. He has tasted a power not his own, a fire that should not be. He returns not just as a ruler, but as a warden, aware of the deeper, darker threats that lie sleeping. Days later, Kong stands once again on the cliff overlooking the valley in his kingdom. The balance is restored, but he is different. He periodically glances back towards the now sealed chasm, his gaze harder, wiser. He holds his axe, not as a tool, but as a constant reminder. The king is home. His reign is secure. But peace in Hollow Earth is never permanent. It is merely the quiet between storms. And the king, having stared into the abyss and faced its master, will forever stand watch. For he knows now that he is not just the king of his world, but its first and last line of defense.